Hello students. Yesterday we started with the first part of the writing and we said that we're going to complete our writing lesson today, inshallah. So yesterday we started with the part where we just saw the basic objectives that we had, and we're going to complete on the same objectives that we have. So just to repeat very quickly and to remind you that we are going to state the importance of sharing characteristics between friends as a personal opinion. We are going to examine two personalities and outline their differences. We are going to compare using the Venn diagram to write two friends' qualities and describe someone's negative and positive qualities and give a personal opinion about them. So when we start, just to go back and remind you that we have on page number 14 in the book, the first question was, do you think it is necessary for people to share the same characteristics? Now, this is something that we discussed, and then we had the question that why or why not, just to give a personal opinion or point of view about it. After that, we were asked to read the text on page number 14, which we did and we listened to at the same time, and we were asked to see who are the people involved and what kind of people are they. After that, we of course outlined that we have here the people mentioned in the text are the speaker's maternal grandparents. Then in the book we have the question, in your view, what are the characteristics that they share concerning, of course, the grandfather and the grandmother? So we had the Venn diagram, which we did about the grandfather and grandmother, and you can see there are a lot of characteristics that we had for both sides. So after that we have the question, what do you think might have happened if they both shared exactly the same characteristics and attitude to life? Of course, we are just imagining if they both had the grandfather's characteristics or the grandmother's characteristics. So if we can just go back and see, now if they were both like the grandfather, they would be more calm, maybe quieter. We can say that they would be also more rational about things. And if they both had the grandmother's characteristics, they would be more flustered, and they would be a little bit maybe tense because they want everything to be perfect, not everything to be perfect. And they might have a little bit of a short temper here. So this is something that we can just conclude. And after that, we had also the question, why did the writer choose to describe the particular incident? Just so we have here to present the idea that this incident pretty much rounds up the amazing symbiosis between these two wonderful people. So they have a kind of team built between them. Now, all of these points are things just to remind you as a revision of what we did in the last lesson. So we are going to see what we have after that. What do we have else? If you remember, I gave you these questions which you have in the book, and I gave you the chance to just think about the questions and go back to the reading text and try to also answer the questions and see what you can find. So we have here, these are 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. We are going to start one by one, and we're going to just concentrate on the first question. So the first one we have here, what is the topic of each paragraph? What or who is the paragraph about? So actually here, we need just to take a basic look on the whole paragraph that we have. So yesterday we had it part by part. And to make it clear for you, I'm going to just color the parts here. So you can see that we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. And we can see that we have the main paragraph here, which is in the blue color. It is about the grandfather. We have the one in the orange color, which is about the grandmother. And we have the green, which is the incident mentioned here in the essay in general. So this is going to be basically how the essay is built. Then going to the second question, are all paragraphs about the same length? Why or why not? So going back and just looking at it again, you can see that we have here the first and the last paragraphs are not as long as the others. So why? We can say, for example, that we just have an introduction, and at the end we have a conclusion. We can see that the paragraphs that are about the grandfather and the grandmother are a little bit maybe close to each other. And the paragraph which is about the incident, it just is a little bit short because we have here, it's just telling us about the incident that is mentioned. So this may be the answer that we have here. So you can just also come up with other answers. You can maybe have another point of view, which is also accepted. After that, we have here, in the third question, what words or phrases describe the qualities of each person? Can you think of more? So if we revise the paragraphs that we have here, you can see in the second paragraph, we have like the word dedicated to describe the grandfather. We can also mention something like highly respected. And we can say that he is an honest man, as we have here. Completing. We can also say that he is interested in people, history, law, and philosophy. He is the most serene person. And we have here, he never raises his voice, never loses his temper. And we can say also that he has the ability to always rationalize things ever so smoothly. Now you have a complete idea, and then you are asked to think about other things. So we can think about something. We have here, of course, the sense and aura of peace. So just to come up with something else, just think about it. What can you say about the grandfather? Something just to add. So you can describe the man based on what description do we have here in the paragraph. I can add, for example, he is patient. We can also say that he is kind. We can also say that he is a sophisticated man. So these are just examples. You can come up with something else. And on the other hand, we have the grandmother. Now the grandmother, we said that she gets all worked up about things and flustered over minor irregularities. She had to have everything planned, things that could have what she gets worried, about things that could or may go wrong. So it's not something that has already gone wrong. And we have here, she wants everything to be perfect. And we can say also that when she had gotten into her cleanliness frenzy. So she has, as we can see, you can describe also, and this is something that you are asked to do, to just come up with other characteristics based on what we have read about her. So for example, we can say that she is a little bit irritable. And we have here hasty. We can say that she is strict also, and she is accurate. Okay, so she wants everything to be perfect. So we have here the last question, which qualities are demonstrated through the incident? Now we read about the incident that we had, which is about the antique furniture that the grandmother just took out, and how when the grandfather discovered or came and asked her about his antiques, she replied, and he simply laughed and went to have his meal. So which shows that he has a very calm personality. He didn't get angry. He didn't get into a kind of fight with her. So he understood that she had a point of view. And in return, the grandmother, here she didn't first ask about the furniture, or she just did what she wanted to do. She didn't ask for permission. She didn't even try to have his opinion about it. So we can see that there is a kind of difference in their personalities. Now, we are going to come to the part that we are going to apply by ourselves. So here in this part, this is our turn. And yesterday we had a complete cover up for all the writing tips that we have. Now, we said that we are going to apply, we are going to write and do the same thing. And actually, in this lesson, I'm going to show you the correct or the easy way that you can do the same thing. So at the beginning, it may be a heavy task. You may see that there are lots of details, but actually at the end, it is something that is very simple to apply. So we're going to see here. You are asked to think about two people who who are good friends. You are going to use a Venn diagram to write the qualities as we did for the grandmother and grandfather. And we are going to write a short essay about the two friends. So we are asked to write about friends. You can also change if you want to family members, if it is going to be a little bit easier for you to apply. So we are going to do the same thing. We are going to choose friends, as we said, and we are going to apply the Venn diagram, which may be something easy, but remember that you have to have in the middle the shared characteristics that you feel that apply to both people that you know. So we are going to start with the writing corner. Now, put in mind, when you write a descriptive essay about people's qualities or characteristics, we are writing a descriptive essay, which means that we are going to describe. We need to describe these people. That's why we are going to think about their positive and negative characteristics. We are going to also think about their needs and the things they offer, their attitude to life, typical incidents, and so on. So I have my friends here. I chose two of my best friends. I have my friend May, and I have my friend Hiba. And I was careful to choose both kinds of characteristics, positive and negative. So you can see that I wrote for May that she was selfless. She was also, or she still is actually, encouraging, gentle, but she is a little bit hesitant, and at the same time she is sensitive. On the other hand, I have my other friend who is Hiba. Now Hiba is known to be adventurous. She is fearless and also humorous, but as a negative point, she is a little bit messy, and we can say that she is a noisy person. In the middle, we have the shared characteristics between them. So what do they share? They are wise, they are helpful, they are both inspiring, and they are both loyal. So I did the first part here, and as you can see that there are not a lot of words, so this is going to be easy for you to apply. It doesn't have to be just a collection of adjectives here. Just put some simple characteristics that you can apply within your sentences. Now, after that, we have to do something else here. We are going to express our personal feelings, views about the people. So I'm going to express what I feel about May and Hiba. And at the same time, here they note, do not simply write a list of adjectives. So which means when I'm writing the composition that I have, or the essay, I have to be careful to put it in a kind of text to write. And it's not just about saying that May, she is sensitive and humorous and. No, so I have to just twist it a little bit and put it in a kind of a story. So this is something that we're going to do. Also, just to remind you that we have to use different expressions like the ones that we have here. Now, these are to express your thoughts, memories, and we read yesterday the examples that we had. Also, something else here, to use linking devices like the examples that we have here. Now, we said that these linking devices indicate similarity and contrast. They are used to show the cause and effect, consequence, reason, and so on. And we passed by them one by one. After that, we are directed to plan our essay carefully by deciding what or who you are going to focus on in different sections or paragraphs. Now, if you just go back, we discussed the model text that we have here, and we said that there is an introduction, there is a kind of conclusion, We have the first paragraph was about the first main paragraph was about the grandfather, then about the grandmother, and then the incident that was mentioned. So it was carefully structured. We are going to do the same thing. Now we have here also a tip to write a first draft, then read it and make corrections or write questions about things you are not sure about. And this is actually something that we might need help in. So that's why I have something designed here. I have a kind of table here that I can just go and check. It's like my own personal checklist. Now I advise you, once you have the Venn diagram ready, just to write the basic things that you have to apply within your essay. Now, for example, we have the first checklist that has, for example, the title, we have the ideas, we have spelling, I have to check my spelling, I have to check my structure. I also have to make sure that my handwriting, if I'm writing by hand, is something that is readable and acceptable. And also I have to check the punctuation and also capital letters. And then we have another table here, which is the basic ideas or the expressions that I have to use. Now I have something which is maybe better or clearer than this one. You can see that I have the basic things that we were directed to use. First of all, personal feelings, views about the people. Second, I have positive and negative qualities, needs and things they offer, which were mentioned. I have the expressions of thoughts and memories or feelings, and I have the expressions written in front of me here. Also, I have other expressions that are used to indicate the similarity and contrast and so on, as we said. And I have all the examples that I can use here. And at the end, I have something else, which is to make sure that my essay my essay is written carefully by deciding what or who you are going to focus on different paragraphs, as we just mentioned before. So we have here, this is the table that I'm going to check and make sure that I'm on the correct path. So if you have some kind of table, it would be easier for you just to go on and you can direct yourself before being directed. Now, this is the last part that if I need help, that I can just show someone my essay. And here I am writing the essay and I am showing you the essay just to check with me and see if everything is correct. This is my complete essay that I wrote. Now, just to show you that I have here the introduction. I have 1, 2 basic parts, and then I have the conclusion. So it's up to you to decide how many paragraphs do you want to add to your essay. Now, I'm going to start, just to show you very clearly, the parts that I have in my original essay. We're going to read and you're going to check with me, did I apply all the things that we were asked to apply or not? So first of all, let's start. I love my best friends May and Hiba so much. Just thinking about them makes me smile. We have a lot of precious moments together that I value so much. So just to stop here a little bit, you can see that I used I love my best friends, which expresses my personal feeling. I also used here just thinking about them as a phrase. And also we have here, we have a lot of precious moments together that I value so much, also showing my personal feeling about it. So when I come to the table that I have, my checklist, we can say, for example, personal feelings and views about the people. Did I do it or did I apply it? Yes, I did. Moving on. Anytime I mention May, I have always felt that she's family. In fact, her house is almost mine. I spend a lot of time with her. She's the most selfless person I know. She always listens and gives advice. Now, do you remember the characteristics that I wrote for May? I have the same characteristics here, but they are in sentences, and I added a little bit of parts just to complete the meaning here. You can see that I said anytime. I have always felt that she's family. In fact, her house is almost mine, and she's the most selfless person I know. This is in this part. So, did I express thoughts, memories, and feelings? And you can check with me here. So we can say that, yes, I did. I used the expressions to show that there is a kind of personal thought here, or memory, or feeling. So what is the difference between the first one and the second one? Here we have in the second part, it is all about the expressions that you can use. After that, she is gentle and caring, but can be too sensitive sometimes. So we have here, we use the connector but. May always encourages me to do new things. She is always telling me about workshops and activities I can try out. In spite of that, she herself is a bit hesitant and thinks things carefully. Completing. Hiba, on the other hand, is the opposite. She is an adventurous and fearless person who loves discovering and trying new things all the time. Hiba is so humorous that she can make me laugh even if I don't feel like it. She does get on my nerves though. She can be noisy and sarcastic at times. I just need some peace and quiet. Whenever Hiba starts teasing, I say, here she goes again. So, going to the checklist that we have here. Did I use phrases or linking devices like the examples that I have here? Both. We can say that I used although. We can say also however. So, did I use some linking devices here in the parts? Yes, I did. So, they can be applied within the parts that we read or before or even after. Moving on. As I'm now writing my essay, Hiba is telling me that she plans to visit a museum next week, and whether I like it or not, I'm going with her. She doesn't take no for an answer. Hiba finds archaeological museums extremely interesting. She gets absolutely fascinated by history, unlike me, who prefers very old antiques and jewelry galleries, which she finds quite amazing. So we have here at the end, although there are differences, they seem to disappear. My friends are the best people I have ever met. They are loyal and helpful whenever I need them. They inspire me all the time to be better and are both wise despite their different personalities. For us, each one covers up for the other, and we turn into one perfect human being. So you can see that this is the end. We have the rest of the checklist. We can see the second part, positive and negative qualities, when I said that she was a little bit annoying for Hiba. Or we can say that the needs and things they offer, typical incidents like when I mentioned that she is now telling me that she wants to go to a museum and she won't take no for an answer. So did I apply this one? Yes, as a matter of fact, I did. And at the end we have here, your essay should be carefully planned by deciding what or who you are going to focus on different parts. And this is something that you saw that I actually did when I planned it. I have the presentation, the introduction, it's a little bit short, it doesn't have to be very long. I have the part about May, I have the other part about Hiba, and I have my ending. So here you can see that I combined the incident with Hiba because she was actually telling me that she was going to go to the museum. That's why I just added this part to the second paragraph, or the third actually here. Now, did I do this at the end? Yes, I did. So I planned carefully, I know what I'm doing, and I know what I am writing. Now, this is the part that we have here. You can see that we have the complete checklist, and also you can just go back, check your spelling, check the punctuation, full stops, commas, capital letters maybe. You can just check upon the little details that you have here, like for example the title, leaving a space at the beginning. So these are parts that we have applied, and you can see that I added the title. So what do you think? I showed you my writing here, or my essay. So do you think that I applied everything and we did have our complete checklist for all the details that are in the book? At the end, we are done. So this is the writing part that we have here. Yesterday we discussed the interesting part about characteristics and how they form a team and how they can just complete each other. And this is something that you can do between any two friends that you know, or relatives if you wish. At the end of our lesson, we have the same parts actually. We have here, we gave opinions about, personally I gave my opinion about Hiba and May. And also I composed a Venn diagram about the two people. And then I organized my writing steps, and I made sure that I had a little bit of each part. I added phrases, I added expressions, and I planned my essay carefully. At the end, I wrote a complete essay. So you can see that we have here the writing. It is something that you can apply very easily, but the basic hint here is to just put a complete checklist here, and you can follow yourself, as I said before, being followed. We have my essay here, and I am very excited to know about yours. So until the next lesson, just do your writing essays, and I'm sure they're going to be even better than mine. So see you soon.